host for Celebrity Drop It Like a Deuce. Here's John LeBang. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of Celebrity Drop It Like a Deuce. Tonight's contestant is Sleazy Vegetable Joe from the band Nothing Sounds Good. Let's begin. Jimi Hendrix or Kurt Cobain?
Jimi Hendrix.
1 point. Queensryche or Pearl Jam?
Queensryche.
1 point. Pike Place Market or Snoqualmie Falls?
Oh, man. I love the falls, but I'm going to have to go Pike Place.
Goose egg. Pain in the Grass or camping at Mount Rainier?
Oh, camping at Mount Rainier.
1 point. Rainier Cherries or a ferry ride to Bremerton?
Ooh. The cherries. Rainier Cherries.
1 point. 5 questions. If you were an Olympic sport, what would you be?
If I was an Olympic sport?
Yes.
I would be lunatic bush rolling.
50 points. Movie that describes your childhood?
Mommy Dearest.
5 points. High school celebrity crush?
Oh, man. I hate to sound like the guy that took a shot at Reagan, but Jodie Foster.
Ooh, 70 points. Worst food on the planet?
Oh, kimchi.
Ooh, good call, good call. 200 points. Oh, I just get sick thinking about that. Okay, last one. Most underrated band?
Man. That's a really tough one. I'm just going to go with Nothing Sounds Good, bro.
There you go. You know, I leave, that's a softball for every band I bring on. And they're naming this band and that band. You're the first one to, my band's the most underrated band. Finally, I got somebody to answer the question. 100 points.
Well, I didn't want to say Nickelback.
Yeah, they might be the most overrated band.
Oh, man, I'm telling you.
Bonus 200 points, bringing you to a grand total of 629 points.
Thank you so very much again for the opportunity.
That was Sleazy Vegetable Joe from the band Nothing Sounds Good. Don't forget, have your dog spayed or neutered. Celebrity Drop It Like a Deuce is a John LeBang Show production.
If you want to contact the John LeBang Show, feel free to send an email to jlebang@live.com. And if you're on Twitter, look him up at John LeBang. And don't forget to go to his Facebook page at The John LeBang Show. Banger. Now here's John.
All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as we carry on here in the second hour of this week's broadcasting of the John LeBang Show. So many people disregard things we say here because they're caught in the mainstream media. They haven't researched very much in their life. They get their news from the 2-minute news broadcast, where it gives you 2 minutes of that, 2 minutes of this. I understand the attention span isn't there, but there are a bunch of things that have been discussed here on the broadcast, as in on the conspiracy world, because we do delve into that, even though we don't go into the way far out stuff. We like to prove that some conspiracies that have been talked about that you might discredit have actually been proven to be true. First and foremost, this one I've been talking about a lot lately since all the shootings have been happening. Government mind control. A lot of people don't even know what that is about. But the conspiracy was the CIA was testing LSD and other hallucinogenic drugs on Americans in a top secret experiment on behavior modification. The truth is, the program was known as MK Ultra. We just discussed that, ladies and gentlemen. And it was real. The CIA started by using volunteers, but the program heads soon began dosing people without their knowledge. MK Ultra left many victims permanently mentally disabled. How about this conspiracy, ladies and gentlemen? John Lennon was under government surveillance. The conspiracy was the FBI was spying on former Beatle John Lennon. The truth was they most certainly were. Like many countercultural heroes, I'm not a hero, but I'm sure I've got an FBI file. Lennon was considered a threat. Anti-war songs like Give Peace a Chance didn't exactly endear former Beatle John Lennon to the Nixon administration or any other administration. In 1971, the FBI put Lennon under surveillance, and the Immigration and Naturalization Service tried to deport him a year later. What about government spying on you? A lot of people don't believe that. The conspiracy is, with the advance in technologies, the government is using its vast resources to track citizens. The truth is, in 2016, government agencies sent 49,868 requests for user data to Facebook, 27,850 to Google, and 9,076 to Apple, according to the Electronic Frontier Foundation, a major nonprofit organization that defends civil rights liberties in the digital world and advises the public on matters of internet privacy. What this article, see, I'm reading from a mainstream news article on MSN. What they didn't talk to you about is Project Prism, which pretty much gives the government all reins over the access to anything they want. Check into why they put Windows 10 together. Let's go to another government conspiracy, if we may. The fake battle for real war. The conspiracy, the Gulf of Tonkin incident on August 2nd, 1964, was faked to provoke America's support for the Vietnam War. The truth was, by the time news reached American ears, the facts surrounding the North Vietnamese attack on the American naval ship Maddox was already fuzzy. Declassified intelligence documents have since revealed that the Maddox was provided support for South Vietnamese attack on a nearby island, and that North Vietnamese were responding in kind. And this is according to the U.S. Naval Institute. The event opened the floodgates to direct American military involvement in Vietnam. If you don't believe that, how about the fake WMDs in Iraq? How about this one? The conspiracy: for decades, tobacco companies were bearing evidence that smoking is deadly. Well, that came out in a bunch of court cases. But what they don't talk about, the deadliness, this is the part of the conspiracy nobody wants to talk about, is that they put radiation into these tobacco fields. And that's probably the primary reason why there's so much cancer out of the smoking population and not all the other carcinogens. How about this one? Canada tried to develop gaydar. The Canadian government was so paranoid about homosexuality that it developed a gaydar machine. The truth is, it really happened in the 1960s. The government hired a university professor to develop a way to detect homosexuality in federal employees. He came up with a machine that measured pupil dilation in response to same-sex erotic imagery. The Canadian government used it to exclude or fire more than 4,000 men, nearly 400 men from civil service, military, and Mounties. How about some more conspiracies? The Illuminati and the U.S. government. The secret societies that rule the Illuminati and the U.S. national security agencies are in cahoots. That's the conspiracy. Well, here's the truth. We're here to tell you that that link does in fact exist. All that stuff on the back of the dollar bill can tell you, if you're adept enough, that there is a connection between the so-called group, the Illuminati, and the United States government. Let's talk. You want to talk about the Illuminati and the U.S. government? Woodrow Wilson, Adam Schiff. Let's get into all that. How about Woodrow Wilson's wife? You want to get back into that? Because that's an incredible story in itself. A stroke rendered presidential Woodrow Wilson incapable of governing, and his wife stepped in. Now, the truth is, Wilson did suffer a debilitating stroke towards the end of his presidency, but the government felt it was in the country's best interest to keep it quiet. The public didn't learn about the stroke for months, during which time his wife, Edith Wilson, was making most of the executive decisions. Despite Mrs. Wilson claiming that she acted only as a steward, historians who have analyzed the Wilson term in office confirmed that for well over a year, Mrs. Wilson was effectively president. Woodrow Wilson. During his reign, we got the Federal Reserve Act, the 16th Amendment, which is the income tax, which we never had before that. And that income tax, which most people don't understand, was put in place to pay for the interest of the Federal Reserve Act, because it became the printer of our money versus the government printing our money. Most people don't know. The Federal Reserve is a private organization. There's nothing federal about it at all. That's it, ladies and gentlemen, for yet another 60 minutes of sonic vibrations known as The John LeBang Show. I would like to thank all of our affiliate stations for continually supporting The John LeBang Show. Don't forget to go to the website. That's www.jlebang.com. There's archives of the show. Please join in on some of the fun games that we've got going there. You can find out anything you've missed is right there, just at your fingertips. And I'd like to thank you all for joining me. And until the vibrations of my vocal cords reach your ears again, this is John LeBang signing off from the Banger Studios. See you next week.
T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have liftoff. Tune in again next week. Same time, same space, same station.